Are you all ready for Dave the Diver X Godzilla? Let's f***ing go! We've all been there, we've all experienced those autistic moments where our favourite game franchises drop some of the most bombshell crossovers ever. Whether it's crossover characters, skins, stories, updates, whatever, you get it. No one is going to judge you for screaming so loud at an announcement that you throw up in your own mouth. Banjo fans everywhere can relate to me with that one. But what makes crossovers in games feel so special? Well, in this video I wanted to discuss the infectious appeal of crossovers in gaming, so like and subscribe if you enjoy. Later in this video we're going to delve a little into the human psyche. So stick around to find out why certain little switches flip up in our subconscious, whether it's through throwing up at kids games mascots joining Smash, Numa Numinga's All Might in Fortnite, or slitting Velma from throat to as Jason with the Tims in Multiverses. Fanservice is probably the most obvious reason we love gaming crossovers. It's just naturally appealing to see our favourite characters or worlds collide to create novel stories or scenarios. Well, for the most part people are happy with them. For the longest time everyone was gagging to know who would win in a fight, Mario or Sonic, and along comes Smash Brawl out of nowhere, dropping the fattest fanservice in gaming ever. Well, not quite as epic as Nicki Minaj in Modern Warfare, but it was pretty cool I guess. Fanservice often gets a bad reputation because it usually gets labelled as a cheap attempt to gouge audience's retention with dangling keys. And yeah, that's a very valid point, but do we really care? We're human beings, we're the most intelligent species on the planet, we can enjoy whatever we want. But we're all smart enough to know when companies are taking advantage of I didn't even play Fortnite and I caved and bought the bundle. My main point here is that it's obvious at surface level why we love gaming crossovers. They're just cool, they're fun, and we get to experience new scenarios or experiences with recognisable brands collaborating. We don't need to justify ourselves. Some companies just use it to gouge money from brainlets that just consume the content because it's a thing they like and another thing they like. But other times these crossovers are sincere and high quality collaborations that you can't help but enjoy because of the novelty and fresh engagement they bring to the table. Okay, let's talk a little bit about games that exist as crossovers, not just a pre-existing franchise that's been invaded by another. The likes of Smash Bros, Multiverses, Lego Dimensions, those kinds of games, you get the idea. Games that exist as the crossover have very over and off the looks business advantage when it comes to their appeal, and that's because their appeal is extremely far-reaching. Take Smash as the main example. Hell, take the first Smash game even. That game had characters from 9 different games. Just by making a game with those 9 characters in them, you've basically planted a little infectious seed into each of those respective franchises. People will see Mario on the cover and instantly buy it because it's f***ing Mario. Others might see Pikachu and think, awesome, that's a popular character I like. This game seems like it'll be fun, and you get the picture. Come to present day with the likes of Smash Ultimate and you have yourself around 225 different game series getting representation. That's a lot of damn little seeds gradually pumping in players. And we know by now that Smash Bros has been adding characters from third-party franchises, which also widens that target audience net. Multiverses is another platform fighter similar to Smash Bros, just with a pool of various Warner Bros franchises their characters are pulled from. But the same logic still applies, whereby fans of those characters will be very attracted to the game. I mean, God knows the cartoon community can be very attracted to their characters. Very. Add Jake the damn dog to your game and your female player base will grow substantially. Like, why do girls love this character so much? I bet you can't find a female Adventure Time fan that hasn't spread out of rug and prey to the custom Doc Martin. I also mentioned Lego Dimensions earlier. Well, that's because I wanted a good example of a crossover game that wasn't a platform fighter. Yeah, I know, I rare damn fine these days. Again, this game has many different franchises getting represented, and so the larger net is cast. But this game, as you probably know, is a Toys to Life game, which makes this an incredibly good game to show you just how strong those appeals are. You get to choose your crossovers. You get to actively make that decision to buy that character and engage with the product. You don't just experience it by playing the normal base game. It appeals to your specific audience by giving you that personal connection to the product in a way that a normal crossover wouldn't. DLC characters work in the same way. Like if you wanted to pay for the Banjo DLC for Smash, your wants are appealed to and you are more likely to think the product is special and worth your money and time. Now you can apply these concepts to a plethora of games, but I wanted to mention these 3 because it allows us to explore a more businessy angle. As mentioned, these franchises are all connected through little seed plants that draw in target audiences from all these franchises, but it goes further than that. What these games do are they connect franchises and therefore increase exposure to all these brands and characters. When I booted up Smash Bros when I was a wee babe, I didn't know who the hell Kirby was, but since he was in the same game as Sonic, my thought process was that his game is worth my attention now. Apply this context to all crossovers crossovers. I mean, Fortnite is the biggest example of this. When you gain exposure to something new through engaging with something that you're already familiar with, you are more likely to want to engage with that new other property, and thus money is printed and your brand recognition is bolstered. Now, those last statements all sounded a little negative, but I wouldn't say it's a bad thing in most cases. Regardless if it was a business decision to get you interested in the other franchises, you can enjoy the crossovers however you want. I mean, it's obvious that Nintendo is abusing Smash to shovel Fire Emblem into our brains, because why else would they keep adding the same unwanted characters over and over again, like sneaking a dog their medication in peanut butter? But right now, I wanted to discuss a more interesting aspect of why I think we enjoy crossover games from a subconscious level. There is a big difference in crossovers in general versus crossovers in gaming. The difference being that you yourself are actively engaging in the crossover by playing the game, especially when you get to choose a character you're playing as. By enforcing that crossover, making that engagement yourself, you are investing an emotional stake in bringing those new situations and scenarios to life. You set up that Mario and Sonic match in Brawl. You had the estrogen-fueled urge to choose Jake the dog in that Portal level in LEGO Dimensions. You chose to play as Nicki Minaj in COD for some reason. Never mind, I know why. My point being is that you can experience things your way, and due to the novel fact that these characters and scenarios would not play out normally otherwise, it flips up those little dopamine switches in your brain that make the experience that much more personal and enjoyable. On the competitive side of things, this emotional state gets a little more interesting and personal. Let's stick with multiverses and Smash here, because it's much easier to drive this point home due to the natural competitive nature of these crossover fighting games. Think about your favourite Smash or Multiverses character. Do you play them because you like the character, or do you play them because they're just available? No, your initial attraction to that character was most likely been down to the fact that you like them. For me, it was Sonic in Smash, for others it might have been Batman in Multiverses. Either way, your pride for that franchise is what made you actively engage with that game, and more specifically with the characters within them. You want to fight with those characters, you want to win with those characters, you want to win with that character because you are prideful of the character you're playing. Your ego is being tested and appealed to. That Mario fan and that Sonic fan locking in those characters in Smash are not just there to win, they're there to win with that character and make sure the other person loses. It goes back to that fan service point earlier about us playing out fictional scenarios that would otherwise be a pipe dream. We're human, we're naturally egotistical and competitive, so when we play out these scenarios and come out on top, we subconsciously acknowledge our character as superior and represent our favourite franchises ourselves, rather than just watching Peter Griffin and Homer Simpson duke it out exactly as the writers intended. Anyway guys, I just thought since Multiverses released earlier this week, I thought it'd be a fun time to make a video discussing my thoughts about gaming crossovers and why we are naturally drawn to them. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, since I want to know what you love most about your favourite crossovers. Goodbye.